What's up everyone and welcome back to the MMA Zone. Today, let's get started with Merab response to Cory Sandhagen comments. Cory Sandhagen has scoffed at Merab Dvalishvili's claims that he may elect to throw hands at UFC 320, and now Merab is firing back at the contender. And before we continue, make sure to leave a like on the video to help support the channel. Sandhagen is booked to fight Dvalishvili in the co-headliner of the October 4th card in what will be Merab's third fight as the bantamweight king. Although Dvalishvili's road to championship status is littered with contenders who couldn't withstand his pressure and wrestling, Merab's claimed that he could go with a different approach against Sandhagen. Due to those comments, recently Sandhagen told the New York Post this: "I know that he's been saying that he's going to strike. That's not true. And if that is true, that's a horrible idea. Don't do that, Merab." So while talking to the media since then, Merab insists that he can sleep the Sandman with his strikes. "He must know that I hit hard. He will see. If Cory Sandhagen will stop my takedowns, I'll knock him out." It'll be fascinating to see how this fight plays out, but based on the comments from Merab, it sounds like he won't be straying from his usual game plan. Dvalishvili made it clear he understands how dangerous Sandhagen is. It's not only one thing that he's good at. Cory Sandhagen does a lot of things. You see how he knocked out Frankie Edgar with a flying knee. That's special. He knocked out Marlon Moraes with a spinning kick. He submitted Batista. He's tricky. He's smart. He does a lot of things. Alex Pereira reveals real reason for losing to Ankalaev. Recently, Alex Pereira has raised eyebrows by claiming he was far from 100% healthy when he faced Magomed Ankalaev back in March, and now he's provided more details as to why. As Pereira gets set to face Ankalaev for a second time at UFC 320 this coming Saturday, he's claimed he was at 40% of his capacity when he lost by a decision to the now light heavyweight champion Ankalaev. Understandably, the comments caused quite a stir online. In a subsequent interview with Renato Moicano, Pereira revealed he was really sick when he fought Ankalaev. "That was preparation, man. It's not about the travel and all that. I think it was a build-up, you know? Like, man, I did that practically all my camps. It's always been like that, and even before I joined the UFC, my life was always a rush. When I was still at Glory, I saw Glover there. He said, 'Man, you have to stop for a bit. You don't stop? I can't, you know? I'm there, moving all the time, right?' And I think that's it. It's the accumulation of work, training, everything, injuries, and things got worse, and I ended up getting messed up. Just to give you a few details, I got a bit messed up and I even got sick with some kind of low immunity disease. If you look at a picture, if I'm not mistaken, of the press conference where I'm wearing a linen outfit, you know, blue and white, something like that, you see my mouth all messed up. I got a fever, a lot of things, you know?" The feared striker also said this: "It really broke me. Now I'm going to fight again. I'm very happy to have this opportunity to be well the way I am. So like, man, of course I'm going to get there. I was 40%. I'm going to get like much more than 50%, but I just need 10% more. If I have 10% there compared to the last fight I had with him, I'll be in really good shape." We'll see what happens in the rematch soon enough. Speaking of Pereira, recently, YouTuber and streamer iShowSpeed ran into the Brazilian.
"Hey, I watch your fights, man. Eu falo português.
Ah, fala português?
Sim, eu falo. Né.
O primeiro que tava lá na feira, não?
Ask if you mad in mathematics?
No, I didn't meet you. No, I didn't meet you. Oh, you look super big in person.
Right there.
How much you weigh?
What's the peso?
Doesn't matter. He's gonna weigh 205 next week. That's all that matters.
205? Damn. All right, nice to meet you. Prazer em conhecer você. All right, y'all. Peace out, y'all.
Tom Aspinall reveals health statistics ahead of his fight. Tom Aspinall still has over 3 weeks to go before he battles Ciryl Gane at UFC 321. But it sounds like the heavyweight champ is already in amazing shape for the title fight. Recently, Aspinall shared out the results from his in-body scan report, and here were some of the numbers. Aspinall weighed in at 115.7 kilograms, or 255 pounds, with 59 kilos of muscle mass. That's 130 pounds. Oh, and the English fighter has only 11.2% body fat. As the Red Corner MMA X post noted, Aspinall's score came in at 112/100, which indicates he has an awe-inspiring balance of strength, muscle, and conditioning. The well-rounded fighter also has a basal metabolism of nearly 2,600 calories a day. Not too shabby. It'll be interesting to see if Gane shares out any similar statistics. MMA community reacts to Wanderlei Silva knocked out post-fight. Wanderlei Silva had his first boxing match yesterday as the main event for Spaten Fight Night against Acelino Freitas. In the 4th round, after multiple illegal shots, the ref disqualified Wanderlei, and an argument happened. During the argument, a huge brawl broke out between the teams, and someone from Acelino Freitas' team jumped into the cage and punched Wanderlei, which only wobbled him. But then, seconds later, the same guy circled back and knocked him out cold in the middle of the ring. Allegedly, Freitas' team was outraged by Wanderlei's illegal headbutts, which got him disqualified. The MMA community's reaction was swift. This is what they wrote. Jean Silva said, "What the f?" Terrence McKinney said, "No way." Damon Martin said, "During the UFC antitrust lawsuit, Wanderlei Silva submitted a letter saying, 'I fear that during my career I have suffered traumatic brain injury and am noticing symptoms common with TBI and CTE. It's absolutely despicable if anyone ever books him for another fight after seeing this.'" Brian Campbell wrote, "This is pure insanity. Should never have been sanctioned." Crazy how out of all the people in the ring, the actual trained fighter was the one to get knocked out like that. The guy that attacked Wanderlei from behind needs to go to prison, but this is Brazil, a place full of corrupt people, and nothing will happen to him. I swear, all these other fight promotions are pure trash and so unprofessional. The who knocked him out sucker punched him to the back of the head just before. Don't think I've seen a bigger absolute. Adam Martin said, "Oh my god, this is insane. Wanderlei Silva brutally KO'd in a post-fight brawl." Aaron Bronstetter said, "What the hell kind of event was this? This should never have happened." UFC updates. Let's take a look at some UFC and fight updates. Recently, Alvaro Colmenero reported via X that Santiago Ponzinibbio is no longer going to fight Joel Alvarez at UFC Rio on October 11th. Instead, Vicente Luque is stepping in to battle the welterweight. Luque is looking to get back on track after he was submitted by Kevin Holland in his last outing, which went down in June. Luque has gone 2-3 in his last 5 fights. Alvarez, meanwhile, has yet to fight in 2025. In his last outing in December, he took out Drakkar Klose. The only defeat Alvarez has in his last 5 came against Arman Tsarukyan in 2023 by a stoppage. Recently, Marcel Dorff reported that welterweights Jeremiah Wells and Temba Gorimbo are going to square off at the UFC's November 1st Fight Night Vegas card. Wells hasn't fought now since February 2024, when he dropped a split decision to Max Griffin. That defeat followed a submission loss to Carlson Harris in August 2023, which snapped a 6-fight winning streak for Wells. Gorimbo is also coming off a defeat, as he was tapped out by the aforementioned Luque in December. Prior to that loss, Gorimbo had recorded 4 straight wins. And Lerta Vienna recently reported that a welterweight fight between Gabriel Bonfim and Randy Brown has taken a big step up. The fight has been moved from the UFC's October 11th card in Rio to the headlining spot for the November 8th Vegas card. Lastly, let's talk about UFC Perth's main event. Last night, Carlos Ulberg knocked out Dominick Reyes in round 1. This is now his 9th win in a row. And let's be real, it was a huge win. Many people, like Henry Cejudo and Aaron Bronstetter, think he deserves a title shot next. But what do you think? As for Dominick Reyes, this was just sad to see if we're being real. Reyes was finally getting back on his feet, winning 3 in a row, and now he got knocked out in the first. Hopefully, it's not a major setback for him. Khalil Rountree talks about Jiri Prochazka fight. Khalil Rountree Jr. has fought several of the best light heavyweights in the world, but the contender understands he has a test ahead of him unlike anything he's faced before, namely Jiri Prochazka. Rountree is preparing to fight Prochazka at UFC 320, who has established himself as one of the most unorthodox and unpredictable fighters in the game. Well, while talking to the media recently ahead of the fight, Rountree acknowledged that he's in for a very different challenge next Saturday. If you think about a puzzle, I've never really seen this puzzle in person. I've got to go crack it. If and when I do, it's going to be very interesting to watch from a fighter and fan perspective. People who enjoy the strategy and fighting and stuff like that, yeah, I think the fans will enjoy it. The 2 guys in there, we're going to feel the pain. We've got to feel it. There's excitement behind it. There are good feelings behind it. But at the end of the day, being in that experience and actually cracking the puzzle, it'll feel good to get the job done and see it all together. There's a lot riding on the fight as UFC 320 nears. Prochazka is ranked number 2 in the light heavyweight rankings, and Rountree is number 4. As a result, Rountree also noted the following: "The statement I need to make is, it should look like this. This guy absolutely deserves the number 1 contender shot. Are you crazy? Did you just see that performance against Prochazka? Absolutely. This guy is undeniable." That's kind of how I see it. Streamer gets submitted 3 times by UFC fighter. And back to the influencer/streamer IShowSpeed. During his visit to the UFC's PI, he elected to do some rolling with UFC strawweight Vanessa Demopoulos. As you can see from the following footage, IShowSpeed didn't fare so well against the pro fighter.
Oh, what the f? What the f?
Oh!
Get off! Oh, stop! Oh, what the f?
If you need a refresher, Demopoulos is 37 years old and has gone 5-5 in the UFC to date. According to Wikipedia, she's 5'2", so yeah. Just in case you needed more evidence of how effective Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu can be, Here you go. Following this, Speed was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and met with John Jones, who instantly squared up.
Left hook.
Yeah, I gotta
I also
go.
heard you got tapped out for one of the women at the UFC.
That's wrestling though. That's wrestling though. Yeah. You doing? Oh.
He's quick.
Yeah, you don't want it. What's going, bro?
Albuquerque, New Mexico, baby.
Yes, sir.
Diego Lopes interested in Alexander Volkanovski rematch in December. Although it looked like Lerone Murphy's win over Aaron Pico put him next in line for a crack at the title, Diego Lopes is hoping that his recent win over Jean Silva was impressive enough to land him a rematch with Alexander Volkanovski. During a Spanish-speaking interview with Hablemos MMA this week, Lopes threw out the idea of a rematch in December. People know I like to fight. I'm never too heavy. I'm never the person that goes, oh, I need 3 or 4 months to prepare for a fight. No, I'm not that type of person. The type of person that I am is someone that the UFC can call and ask to fight next week. I'll catch a flight and I'm there to fight. So yeah, if the UFC wants to fight in December, I'm there. Considering Volk was praising Lopes on social media earlier in the week, perhaps there's some mutual interest in the rematch in December. I've showed you I can take out these new Evolution fighters. Diego's one of them, and he's taken out all these new Evolution fighters. In the meantime, Lopes sent fans into a frenzy by changing his Instagram profile picture of himself rocking a cowboy hat prior to his Noche UFC fight against Jean Silva. While on the topic of Volk, the champion better keep an eye out for Murtazali Magomedov, a new 145er who put the champ on notice on Instagram after his Contender Series win. I'm coming, Alexander Volkanovski. Considering Volk won the belt nearly 6 months ago, hopefully we get an update on his next fight soon. Derek Moneyberg suing Sean Strickland for incident. Rarely does a week go by without Sean Strickland making headlines for a heated online exchange or feud that he's got cooking. And it looks like his issues with Derek Moneyberg are far from over. Now, if you're a casual fan who doesn't follow daily MMA news, you may be wondering, who the hell is Derek Moneyberg? Well, Moneyberg is apparently an online wealth coach, but the main reason he's been a big subject in the MMA world recently is because he received his black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu from Jake Shields after training in BJJ for less than 4 years. That's led to more than a few people questioning how that could be possible. BJ Penn, for example, did it in 4 years, and to this day, it's a shocking accomplishment. It should also be noted Penn was much younger than Moneyberg when he got his black belt. Well, one of the more vocal skeptics has been Sean Strickland, who's blasted Moneyberg and accused him of being a scam artist. And a recent exchange between Strickland and Moneyberg that the former UFC champ filmed went viral. In it, Strickland said this.
Crazy enough, guys. Look who I ran into. This guy's real big, real jack. He says, why do I call him a on the internet? This is why I asked. And again, you could say...
So you got to do that for camera. You can't have a private conversation like an adult. You can only do the things for the internet. You can't have a private
because
conversation.
What I have to say is factual, and you guys...
It's not factual. You just...
So you guys, let me tell you why I don't... Would I like to get free money from this guy? Yeah, sure. Would I pay me money for...
But Sean, when I just asked you, hey, have a conversation...
Well, you asked me why I called you a...
Then you need to have your camera.
No,
you can only talk on the internet.
But I'll tell you why. But I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I called you
internet.
But I'll tell you why I called you
You're the one being right
but, no, I'll tell you why.
I'm saying it to your face.
I'll tell you why.
You're the one being the bad right now.
I love my fans more than anything, you guys. And would I love to go take free money from this guy and peddle? Yeah, I would. Would I love to make free money from this guy? I would. I absolutely would. I would love to. But this man takes advantage of low-paid UFC fighters who are great men who are just trying to make their mortgage and live a life. And he takes advantage of these men and he uses their platform to peddle financial scams and he sues people. And what he does is so dishonest and so scummy that no, I will not. Just because you're nice and you shake my hand and you say you're my buddy, no. You are a fraud. You are dishonest. You fraud people. This is why you don't want to be on camera, because you know everything I say is true. You've sued your people. I will never peddle his you guys because I love you guys, man.
Fast forward to today, and Moneyberg is reporting he's going to be suing Strickland over those comments. I don't recall ever meeting someone so insincere as Sean Strickland seems to be. I've been a gentleman to this guy in every way. I've informed him and others to have informed him that he is maliciously spreading lies and false information about me and my business. He's had numerous opportunities to stop and apologize. He continues to spread lies, however, so now we will go to court and Sean will reimburse me for the damages he has created. Unfortunately, that is now the reality of the situation. In response, Strickland posted this: "Well, I'll tell you what, buddy. When you sue me and we call in Jake Shields and in a room full of people, we put him in a deposition where he said, he's good, but I mean, he paid me over $500,000. How do you think I know you exist? Fighters who paid you to peddle your BS sent me your page. These guys you paid, LOL. And that being said, you're in Vegas all the time. Roll through, sign a waiver.